team. Partway through the season, some rookies are starting to hit that wall, that imaginary rookie wall. Doris, what can they do to power through it and continue?
You know, Kevin, I think this is where having the great leadership of veterans who understand what these young guys are going through, and then they help them, right? So they understand, one, nutrition becomes important, so that's part of the conversation. Getting the appropriate rest, right? You can't go burning the candle at both ends, and so much of a rookie's experience or a young guy's experience in the league is shaped by the veterans around them.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Detroit, they've got Griffin. Reggie Bullock is out there with Smith. Then it's Johnson, and it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
What instincts this guy has on the glass. Has a real knack for getting in tight and always being ready for the tip. I'll tell you, you're not going to find a much more confident basketball player. He always believes the points are going to come.
Griffin a screen on Lowry. Smith kicks to Drummond. Johnson from outside gets the three-pointer to fall. Johnson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. Pass to Ibaka. Outside DeRozan. Shot clock at 5, and that one is good. DeRozan's got his second basket.
That area, Kev, that in-between game between the post and three-point line, that's where players like DeMar make their living.
Over to the left wing. Picked by Griffin. Bullock passes to Griffin. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. For Toronto, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. The second effort, rebounded by the Pistons. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
You know, they worked hard, they drew fouls, but they just couldn't convert at the line.
I think that's the most frustrating thing, right? You've earned the opportunity to take those free throws, and you don't cash in at the line.
Now, here's DeRozan, following the miss by Griffin. Valanciunas with a screen on Smith. Lowry kicks to Ibaka. 6 to shoot. And there's the pass to DeRozan. From 8. That one a little long.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Back to Griffin. And Griffin slams it in.
I feel like they could execute this play in their sleep. Griffin, one of the premier alley-oop finishers in the league.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Now here's Johnson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Boston. And the foul on Jonas Valanciunas. That's his first foul. Smith kicks to Griffin. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Drummond, and it's blocked by Ibaka.
Boy, great extension from Ibaka. His length always a factor.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Ish Smith. That is his first foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Here's Anunoby. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And the Raptors miss again.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And it's Johnson penetrating.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear. This is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
It's his first trip to the line.
And the free throw line was a problem spot for him in their last game. Really struggled up there.
First one falls for him. And Johnson drops them both. Raptors trail by 5.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Griffin against Lowry. From 10 feet out, shots good by Ibaka. Ibaka's got his first basket. And with the Pistons, this has been the identity the team has been aiming for under Stan Van Gundy. It's taken shape, but has yet, Greg, to produce big results.
I think it's because they've just always been one or two pieces short of making that next jump. I think the conference has gotten stronger, and while their best players are really good, I don't think they're quite at that elite level yet to allow this group to take that next step.
Here's Lowry, following the score by Serge Ibaka. Back to Lowry. Three-pointer. Lowry can't get that one to fall. Pistons leading by 3. Bullock dishes to Smith. He kicks it to Drummond. Out to the right wing. Griffin, no one around him. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
The defense lost him there, and he should have made him pay.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
2 shots. Foul. Elbow. 2.
The Raptors shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for the Pistons. And so he hits both.
Well, the Raptors have been one of the top offensive teams in the league. They clearly shoot the ball well, and there are some other things that really set them apart. One, they're a low turnover team. They hit the offensive glass strong, and they're terrific getting points from the foul line.
Another miss by Griffin. Toronto trailing, and Lowry has it in the corner. Good, and it's DeRozan picking up the assist. Lowry's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The feed now to Griffin. On the wing, Johnson. To halt the run. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he went all in there. He embraces the challenge and somehow finishes with the layup.
The Raptors making a switch here. Miles is checked in. Lowry with the ball. 17 points for him last game against Milwaukee. Valanciunas with a screen on Griffin. Lowry passes to Valanciunas.
Well, the Lithuanian 7-footer Jonas Valanciunas, very effective scoring at the rim. He can get you buckets on the low block. He's an excellent finisher in the pick and rolls. A lot to like about this guy.
The Raptors have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Two shots.
And he makes the first.
Well, Kevin, you know this. There's a long history of great players coming out of Lithuania, and Valanciunas right there with the best of them. Remember, back in 2012, this guy was the MVP of the Lithuanian Basketball League.
Valanciunas hits them both.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Smith kicks to Griffin. Screen by Smith. Here's Bullock. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Bullock's got his first 3 points of the game. And Valanciunas, a tremendous offensive rebound.
And that's important, Kevin, because so much of their offense flows through that tremendously talented backcourt. If Valanciunas wants more touches, he's got to go and create them.
Here's Bullock following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Here's Smith. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Lowry. Not going to go that time.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Smith against Lowry. Here's Bullock. And Detroit again with the bucket.
And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Lowry up top, covered by Smith. Lets it go from 11. A second chance effort, and Valanciunas with the layup.
Well, I think, Kevin, this is something Jonas Valanciunas has hung his hat on. His ability to consistently get to the offensive window. Nicely done.
Now, here is Smith. 20 points for him last game against Boston.
Yeah, I was also struck by how well he shared the basketball. He created a lot of easy buckets with that passing ability.
Here's DeRozan.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
It's a beautiful jam.
DeMar DeRozan says, I've got a little showman in me. My goodness gracious, sets the crowd on fire with that one.
Smith dishes to Tolliver. Kicks to Griffin. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Right side, DeRozan puts one up from 19. Here's Ibaka. Great D that time from Johnson.
His high percentage shot right at the rim, and he's wondering what happened.
It's stolen by Lowry. Pass to Miles. Screen by Ibaka. And Miles kicks to DeRozan. The 17-footer goes down. DeRozan's got 10 points.
Boy, what a quarter for this guy. Just give him the basketball and get out of the way.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit.
Well, the prototypical tough kid from North Philly, right? That's Kyle Lowry. I know early on there were questions about his disposition. And to me, part of his emergence, guys, as a star in the NBA has been about his maturation as a teammate.
A new group in now for the Raptors. Nogueira's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Pascal Siakam comes in for Serge Ibaka. Norman Powell's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Wright in for Kyle Lowry. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Moreland's checked in. Ennis comes in for Johnson. Langston Galloway's checked in for Reggie Bullock. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Smith. And Lowry is such a tough, fiery competitor. Doris, isn't it sometimes the case that your greatest strength is also a weakness?
Oh, there's no doubt. Think back to him being confined to a bench role, backup point guard early in his career. He chafed at that, so he uses it as great motivation to become an all-star caliber performer. This guy believes he has big-time stuff.
And another lead change. The fans are really getting their money's worth here tonight.
Well, this is what they pay to see, right? Competitive, close games are simply the best to be involved in.
8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
And I'm not sure I've seen a game with more lead changes this early.
Passes to Siakam. Wright sets a screen. Powell for 3, and again, Toronto with the triple. The Pistons trailing. Now, here is Nelson. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Dishes to Ennis. Back to Nelson. Shot clock at 6. Out to the wing. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. From outside, off the mark.
Oh, great job on the closeout, providing a lot of good D on the perimeter.
Well, that's just superb effort on the defensive end. You don't allow the shooter to get into a rhythm from deep.
Now here's Wright. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Jacks up a 3. The shot missing. Good D by Nelson. And now here's Ennis, the fast break opportunity. And it's off from three-point range. Toronto's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. 1:06 left in the first quarter. Siakam kicks to Powell. And the layup's good off the glass. And it's a 4-point Raptor lead.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Now here's Ennis, defended by Miles. And there it is for him. Ennis has got his first basket.
Really good work in the painted area. You need to have the inside game working like that.
And Wright kicks to Miles. Now the dish to Wright. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Nelson.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
The Raptors have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. And Toronto making a change here. Van Vliet's checked in. And so Wright nails both of them. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Nelson outside. They set the pick. But they recover it. Tolliver. And so it's DeMar DeRozan making highlights for Toronto. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And we'll be back with you shortly. And Serge Ibaka, known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him.
He trusts you. Every time he passes the ball, when you don't shoot, he screams you, shoot ball. Then next time what? You will shoot. And if you miss, you say, yeah, good shot. You know, and your coaches in the practice talking to your teammates, Man, when Serge is open, give him the ball. He will make that shot.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is, huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And from what we've seen so far from the Raptors guys, your thoughts?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
They have smothered every opportunity, it feels like. The other team has got to be nervous on field goal attempts.
And Detroit, looking at who they've got. They've got Ennis. Andre Drummond is out there with Nelson. And it's Moreland in at the four-man position. The shot by Powell, no good. Detroit's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Shot by Ennis, nobody around. Chance there to take the lead, missing. And Wright kicks to Powell. Pass to Van Vliet. There's a good screen. Feeds it to Wright. Just 5 to shoot. Fires the 3. It's Drummond with the rebound. It's a close game here in Toronto. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
Now here's Ennis. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And he hits it to tie the game up. Ennis has got his second basket. Doris, we're always talking about players developing their skill sets. What do you think is the hardest skill to develop as a broadcaster?
I think for me the hardest skill to learn was to learn how to relax, to have fun, to not be anything but your most authentic self, because I think the viewer picks up on it if you're forcing things, if you're trying to be another broadcaster that perhaps you like to emulate. So I'd say that was the hardest thing.
I always say broadcasting a basketball game is like a running conversation between two people because there's so much scoring and the rhythm and the flow of the game just lend itself to that.
At its best, you're 100% correct.
And the Raptors miss again. The Pistons have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Galloway, guarded by Wright. Galloway kicks to Drummond. Launches it. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
At the top of the key, Powell. Buries it from three-point range. Powell's got 8 points. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness. Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
And that one, good. And now it's a 3-point Toronto lead.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Here's Galloway, guarded by Wright. Galloway, the pass to Drummond. Back to Galloway. Launches a 3. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Oh, the strength, the lift, the confidence on display there for Galloway. Nice.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, it may not be the era of the center in the NBA, but Jonas Valanciunas has something to say about that. He said, "I try to make sure they don't forget about centers. I'll keep reminding them. The league is full of guys that can do different things, but I still think you need a center that can rebound the ball and score in the low post." I agree. Kevin?
Well, the centers are still important, David. Good to see Valanciunas making his presence felt in the paint. Now here's Drummond. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Boston.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collected huge amounts of rebounds.
Toronto with the ball after the miss from Andre Drummond. And the pass to Van Vliet. Back to Wright. Toronto needs to get off a shot. Lets the 3 fly. And Galloway pulls it down. The Pistons have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Nelson, no one around him. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. And it's 6 points for Jameer Nelson.
You know, the easy one there. You know, Galloway able to read the defense, finding his man for the great setup. Pretty.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
And not surprising, obviously unhappy with the lack of response from his team.
And I think, Greg, he just has to get them on the same page. With this kind of lax defensive effort, something has got to change.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's a good call, Greg. They need a fresh, new approach here.
And it's a completely new group for Toronto. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. On defense, the Pistons. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. And Ibaka kicks to DeRozan. Ibaka sets the pick for DeRozan. And DeRozan throws it down hard.
My goodness, Kevin, it doesn't get much more efficient than that. DeMar DeRozan capable of these kind of outbursts.
And you look at the Raptors, one of the top teams in the East, Greg, but do they have a chance to go all the way?
I think they're a threat to make the finals. Can they win it all? They may be a piece or two away, but still a young and aggressive core. They continue to try to add pieces, and this is a group that has proven they want to win and win now.
Now, here's DeRozan after the miss from Andre Drummond. And again, DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan's got 4 this quarter.
Well, the low post play of DeMar DeRozan is starting to demand some attention. This guy is so well-rounded offensively.
And the officials call a traveling violation. And while there's a break, here's a collection of the shooting guards that have made an impact with their passing this season. The leading assist men among 2 guards. In the 3rd spot, DeMar DeRozan.
And that list of players just goes to show that great passing doesn't just come from the point. The way those guys distribute the ball from the 2 spot is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it almost seems like they're more like hybrid guards. They can create opportunities for their teammates or handle the scoring duties themselves. Either way, they're valuable to have around.
Griffin a screen on Lowry. Here's Bikes. Lowry covering. Here's Griffin right over the D. Griffin's got 6.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
And Ibaka kicks to Lowry. Screen by Ibaka. Ibaka sets the pick for Lowry. Pirtle with the ball. He's picked up by Drummond. 4 on the clock. Baseline try. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Here's Bikes. Lowry covering. Bikes kicks to Griffin. He feeds it to Bikes. From deep 3-point range. Here's Drummond and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Lowry from outside, cans it from downtown. Lowry's got the lead up to 4 now for the Raptors.
With this lead, they're playing confidently, showing a quick trigger from beyond.
Fires it up. Griffin's shot is off. The Raptors have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the 2nd quarter. DeRozan's shot is off.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And that one drops for him. 8 points for Blake Griffin.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
Now here is Ibaka. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Milwaukee.
And don't make a mistake, the 3 blocks had a huge impact on the game as well. It really turned the game in their favor. Guys, listen, the defense was totally invisible on that 3-point attempt. Nobody even in his zip code.
Hikes, dishes to Griffin. Again, Griffin missing. Here's the Raptors with the ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Wasted no time on that one. Lowry's got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, that's a sight that's become quite familiar over the years. Lowry draining the mid-range jumper. Put another 2 on the board.
The Pistons working the ball around now. Here's Kennard. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. That one on Jakob Poeltl. The Pistons shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
No good on the free throw. Doris, we've heard plenty of coaches say it. If you're going to take it to the rack, man, take it strong. Who would you say are some of the more aggressive dunkers that you see in the NBA now?
Yeah, so on his own, creating his own opportunities at the rim, Russell Westbrook comes to mind, LeBron James. Sometimes I feel like he's going to tear the backboard from the stanchion. DeAndre Jordan and Andre Drummond sometimes are the recipients of either offensive rebounding, putback, great dunks. There are so many, Kev, but those are just a couple of names that pop.
And the Antetokounmpo kid in Milwaukee, the way he is so long and seemingly out of place, and then all of a sudden those arms extend another 3 feet and he dunks it. You go, what? How in the world did he reach it? How did he do that?
The guy is like, he's a pterodactyl. The guy can take off from the top of the key and cover ground and throw it down. It's unbelievable.
Oof. Man. Johnson from outside. It's hauled in by the Raptors. DeRozan passes to Anunoby. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. For Toronto, they have been excellent at the free throw line. Here today, a flawless 6 for 6.
Two shots.
First free throw is good. And Dwayne Casey, known as a grinder, pound the rock, Doris, is his motto.
Well, along those lines, how about this? In college, he actually worked in a coal mine in order to get the money to buy a car. Hard work indeed. And we're not talking just any car. It was a 70s white coupe with swivel seats. How cool is that for a young guy?
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Pistons trail by 8. And here's Smith. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Johnson the screen. There's the feed to Griffin. Over Valanciunas. And that one's good. Griffin's got 10.
Well, you can see he's feeling it right now. Shots dropping from all over the place this quarter.
Here's DeRozan. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
I think I can make the case that DeMar DeRozan finishes through contact like a big man. This guy is tremendous at end-one opportunities.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
And this season, he's maintained very good form at the line, shooting at about an 83% clip.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw is off from DeRozan. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. You know, a lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably had less of an impact, but that's where he has to take the next step.
And so here's Toronto, following the three-pointer by Stanley Johnson. Here's Valanciunas, up and in on the layup. Valanciunas has got his second basket.
Well, efficient scoring in the post, just one of the reasons Valanciunas is out there.
Picked by Griffin. Smith kicks to Griffin. Over Valanciunas, and too long on the shot.
Boy, a little indecisive. I think he wanted to kick it out, changed his mind, and ended up missing.
And Lowry has it in the corner. Ball stolen. Outside Griffin. He dishes it to Smith. Johnson sets the screen for Smith. Back to Griffin. Shot clock at 6. Over Valanciunas. That's short off the rim. Raptors leading by 7. To the wing right side. There's 25 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Screened by Valanciunas. The shot by Lowry, no good.
Well, obviously it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around.
Griffin. Nice D from Valanciunas.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And so we conclude the first half. Raptors lead by 7. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, a good first half for you all. How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We got to come out with our energy. We got to come out and play our game and keep going out there and pushing. Our defense and everybody's rotating, so we're playing together right now.
We'll see if you stay connected in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. DeMar DeRozan putting in some serious work for the team tonight. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. The first 2 quarters tonight looked a lot like what we saw from him in his last game. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
I like what I saw from DeMar DeRozan. He stayed in attack mode. You talk about slashers. He took over that first half.
Over to Kenny. What'd you think about Detroit?
Well, it's never easy to play on the road, and the score reflects that. Just doesn't seem like they're well prepared for this matchup. Every time they tried to make a run, they got derailed. I think to refocus their efforts in the second half, they're going to need to play with a lot more determination for a chance to win this.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
Welcome back to Canada. The famous Toronto sign here in Nathan Phillips Square, just in front of City Hall. And now the third quarter about to get going. A fantastic game from DeMar DeRozan so far.
And through the first 2 periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to, just a slasher's mentality.
You know, my favorite thing, Greg, I think he showed no fear in attacking the defense. He got on the interior with ease.
Now Smith. Anunoby the 3 with Ibaka playing the 4. Lowry and DeRozan are the 1 and the 2. They create so much offense. And it's Valanciunas in at the center. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. One of the most impressive things about Blake Griffin is, Greg, when he gets out and runs the open floor.
Yeah, not to mention his ability to run the break himself. A terrific ball handler, even under pressure, and one of the best passers at the 4 in the league, if not the best.
Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Doris, you've interviewed so many great players and coaches. What are some of the key personality traits that stars seem to share?
Yeah, I would say it's probably like somebody who's either a lawyer or a doctor, right? They're always A-type personalities. They're competitive. They're perfectionists. They have great capacity for work. I don't think you make it to the NBA unless you're incredibly committed.
Well said. Raptors leading by 5. Lowry kicks to Ibaka. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Ibaka's got 6.
Well, you love how Ibaka goes right up with the shot. Doesn't hesitate for a second off the catch.
Kicks to Johnson. Drummond a screen. Johnson's shot is off.
Boy, it's tough to see how he misses that one. I don't think the defense was all that tight on him.
And the shot will not go from Anunoby. Pistons trail by 7. Here's Smith. Outside Griffin. On the wing, Johnson. Drummond sets the screen for Johnson. Back to Griffin. Lets it go with a 3. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Valanciunas has got 5 rebounds tonight. Outside Lowry. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And it's a 10-point Raptor lead.
What a fluid perimeter game. Kyle Lowry, a consistent threat from deep.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Raptors coach Dwayne Casey talked about the chemistry on his team. He said, we couldn't be better. There's no ego, no hidden agendas. Guys understand their roles. Kyle Lowry told me, we're a complete team, 15 deep, and we really mean that. You never know whose time it's going to be. Kevin?
And DA depth is a crucial part of any team's success. Knowing you can rely on your teammates to step up is huge. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Ibaka outside. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And this is what we're starting to see, right? A growing number of players league-wide who can combine both shot blocking and three-point shooting. That used to be a rare combination. And if you think about it, Serge Ibaka was a forerunner. He was one of the first in the league to do it.
Free throw good, Ibaka. And Doris Ibaka, drafted with the 24th pick by Oklahoma City back in 2008. Seen as a raw project player, his development as a shooter, really impressive.
Right. Kev, this guy came into the league strictly as an energy player. But through work and dedication, he develops a big-time mid-range jump shot. And by year 6, he stretched that out to the three-point line.
That one misses.
And Serge Ibaka, remember, it was a first-team all-defense selection. But over time, I think he's become more of a scoring-minded player, and I think that's affected his impact defensively.
Here's Bullock. He has 5. 5 to shoot. And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Blake Griffin.
I'll tell you, they're willing to give him that shot, and he takes advantage of it.
Outside DeRozan. From 10 feet out. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And Serge Ibaka, the league leader in block shots for 2 years in a row in 2012 and 13, but he sends him back at about half the rate he once did.
Yeah, but even still, a pretty good shot blocker. You add in his finishing and outside shooting, and he's a player to be reckoned with.
That's good from DeMar DeRozan. And DeMar DeRozan, a multiple All-Star, last season a career high for him in scoring.
Yeah, this guy has become dominant on the offensive end. If you want to nitpick his game, you could say he could be a better defender. And certainly, with his ability to rebound, his athleticism, I think he's just scratching the surface on that end.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both.
So twice, right, Kevin? DeMar DeRozan's been a member of the United States national team, the 2014 World Cup, Rio Olympics, both golds. Pretty good start for him.
Oh, what a pass. And then he lays it in with the circus move.
So smooth. Ibaka outside. And again, Toronto no luck.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now here is Smith. He kicks to Griffin. Johnson outside. Pass to Drummond. The shot, no good. Nice D from Valanciunas.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor. And really, DeMar DeRozan is a master at what he calls body hunting, that ability to just kind of draw fouls. I think he and James Harden actually are the guys that have really kind of set the tone for how to create those opportunities to get to the line.
The first free throw is good. And DeMar DeRozan, always, Greg, among the league leaders in free throw attempts.
And when you look at him, 6'7", 220 pounds with tremendous athleticism, he has got all the tools. Beyond, though, that attack mentality, he's a savvy basketball player. Those little shot fakes, his footwork help this guy live at the line.
Doris, for you in evaluating how good a player was over his career. You can look at analytics, statistics, whatever avenue you want to take. How important are the rings, the championships in that equation for you?
You know, I know there is some conversation that's saying if you don't have a ring, your career wasn't great. I would say this to you. Karl Malone and John Stockton are in no way diminished in terms of their Hall of Fame credentials simply because they lacked a ring. Sometimes it's the era within which you're operating. Michael Jordan was the greatest player of his generation. Some would say the greatest player of all time. I would say that Karl Malone and John Stockton, unfortunately, were at their peak, in the peak of maybe the greatest player, Michael Jordan. So in no way is someone like Patrick Ewing diminished in terms of his stature and greatness simply because the Knicks were never able to break through. I don't buy that argument.
You frame that so well. You gotta like what DeMar DeRozan has done in this game.
I think one of the things at the top of the list in this timeout discussion has got to be the amount of room they're giving him to operate. You've got to get more bodies on him to try to disrupt his rhythm.
And a look now at the breakdown between three-point and two-point shots attempted here tonight for the Pistons. Smith outside. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Drummond dishes to Smith. 6 on the shot clock. Lobbed up there for Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
Here's Valanciunas after the made shot from Andre Drummond. Here's Ibaka. Off target from outside. Pistons trail by 8. Smith kicks to Johnson. Drummond sets the screen for Johnson. Passes it to Bullock. Johnson the screen. Now here is Smith. Not a lot of room. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Beyond the arc. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got 7 rebounds in the game. Van Vliet kicks to Ibaka. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Boy, remarkable strength with Ibaka, right? Fends off whatever the defense throws his way, converts through contact. That's nice.
This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game. Siakam is checked in for Valanciunas. And then for Detroit, Langston Galloway comes in for Johnson. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Smith.
Well, let's remember, Serge Ibaka is a defensive presence. This guy, an elite shot blocker early in his career, and he is now a capable scorer from just about anywhere.
Nelson kicks to Drummond. Dishes it to Bullock. Back to Drummond. Nelson outside. Here's Galloway. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Galloway has got 7 points in the game.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Van Vliet kicks to DeRozan. Screened by Ibaka. Outside DeRozan. There's the dish to Powell. Off target from three-point range. Pistons trail by 9. Drummond a screen. Pass to Moreland. Here's Bullock. He has 5. Here's Drummond. The rebound by Ibaka. Ibaka's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Powell with it. 8 points for him. And DeRozan kicks to Powell. Now here's DeRozan. He's tightly guarded. Nelson outside. Feeds it to Moreland. It's stolen by Ibaka. Here's Van Vliet, guarded by Nelson. Van Vliet kicks to Powell. Clock at 6. Ibaka outside. And again, Toronto no luck.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
Galloway, the pass to Bullock. And it's denied. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle. Buries it from three-point range. And the Raptors lead by 12.
Well, guys, really good court vision, allowing DeRozan to make that pass. You know, he sees the play developing way in advance.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
And if you're sensing a concern, best thing you can do is call timeout.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. You've got to get this game under control. I think he sees some adjustments he can make.
Jakob Poeltl's checked in for Toronto. C.J. Miles comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Anthony Tolliver, he's checked in for the Pistons. The pass to Nelson. Here's Bullock, defended by Miles. Bullock dishes to Nelson. Nailed from three-point land. Nelson's got 9.
And that's the shot Nelson's always relied on, and it served him well. He works nonstop on the perimeter, finding the space he needs to get good looks from beyond.
Now here's Powell. He's got 8. 6 to shoot. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Andre Drummond picks one up. And the first one at the line is good. Right, he's checked in for Toronto. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Kennard, he's checked in for Reggie Bullock. Both shots good from the stripe. Pistons trailed by 11. Nelson outside, off the screen, and he nails the jumper.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right, the effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Now here's Miles, looking for his first basket still in this one. Powell with the screen. From beyond the arc, it's Drummond with the rebound. Detroit's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them.
And watching Andre Drummond play, he's really just an old-school type center. I mean, he eats up space in the middle and finishes plays in close. Not a skill guy who can pull a defender away from the basket.
That one's good, and the Raptor lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Jameer Nelson. And there's the feed to Powell. Siakam kicks to Miles. In the corner, right with it. Toronto working the ball around now. They set the screen. Powell, the pass to Siakam. And the Raptors miss again. And with Drummond, he does play like towering centers of decades past.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't great at moving the ball around or hitting shots from range, but his size and athleticism are elite and one of the best rebounders in our game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Kicks it to Powell. He feeds it to Miles. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Miles has got his first bucket in this one.
How crafty is C.J. Miles using those screens, right? He knows where to be and when.
Drummond in the post. 6 points for him. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
And he's showing signs now of life after going scoreless through the half.
Right wing. Here's Siakam. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Pistons trail by 7. Nelson dishes to Drummond. Back to Nelson. And stolen by Wright. And now here comes Wright, leading the break. And the shot goes in from Siakam. Siakam's got 4 points in the quarter.
Boy, that's what you call timing. He doesn't have to break stride on the pass.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
And they're picking up a lot of fouls already in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet and maintaining a good defensive position.
And the Raptors with some changes. Anunoby, he's checked in for Siakam. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Norman Powell. Detroit also making some changes. Griffin comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Dwight Bikes in for Nelson. Here's Bikes. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Outside for Griffin. Pass to Kennard. 5 to shoot. Now here's Griffin. Defense right on him. No good from outside. Got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. And Miles kicks to Pirtle. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And it's an 11-point Raptor lead.
Well, with big hands and nice touch, Pirtle knows how to finish in the post. This guy has a lot in his arsenal.
Pass to Bikes. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Pass to Anunoby. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Anunoby's got 9.
Just relentless. Really impressed with how they've been able to maintain that focus.
I think it's obvious, Greg. They want this win. They're showing no let up in their attack right now.
Tolliver for 3. Drills it from outside. 5 points in the game.
Gentlemen, this guy goes from good three-point shooter to great when you give him that kind of space.
And the pass to Anunoby. Right outside. Pass to Anunoby. Fires from deep. Drills the three-pointer. Anunoby's got 5 points now this quarter.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Well, there's no doubt this quarter has been all about them. They've come out hot, and they're not showing any signs of letting up.
Bikes kicks to Tolliver. To the right side. Here's Galloway. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's Toronto looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
We need to make solid plays, okay? Solid plays, aggressive plays, but solid plays, all right?
Wanting to keep up the energy here, Stan Van Gundy would also like to add a dose of greater efficiency.
You know, it's a delicate balance. To perform your best, you need to go 100%, but also be in control while doing it.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. On the floor for Detroit, Smith is out there with Dwight Bikes. Then it's Johnson, and there's Anthony Tolliver, and it's Griffin in at the center, filling out the middle. Drains the three-pointer. Griffin's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Detroit.
That's his second make from distance this half after hitting none before that.
Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. Toronto working the ball around now, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Valanciunas. And Toronto making a change here. DeRozan's checked in. Pistons trail by 10. Smith with it. Lowry picks him up. Picked by Griffin. Dishes to Tolliver. And it's Bikes atop the key. Knocked away. Just 5 on the clock. There's the pick. Here's Johnson. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. DeRozan in the corner. From the left block. No good that time. The Pistons go the other way with it. Bikes kicks to Smith. Griffin a screen on Lowry. Johnson outside. He dishes it to Griffin. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Lowry against Smith. Outside Lowry. Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. Griffin with the steal. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Toronto leading by 10. Fires from deep. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Smith outside. He kicks it to Griffin. And he drops it in from the low post. Griffin's got 10 points in just the second half.
Boy, that's how to do it. Just go strong. Don't settle for a jump shot when the defense is flat-footed. Nice.
They set the pick. Valanciunas with a screen on Smith. Here's DeRozan. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got 3 assists now in this one.
Boy, Kyle Lowry can be so creative sometimes. You think the window's too tight, but he finds a way.
Now here's Griffin over Valanciunas, and the rejection by Valanciunas. Lets it go with the 3, and Kyle Lowry good for 3. Lowry's got the lead up to 13 now for the Raptors. Smith kicks to Griffin. Griffin draws the double. Nogueira with the steal. Passes it to Anunoby. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Pistons trail by 16. Bikes kicks to Tolliver. To the wing on the left. Picked by Griffin. Out to the wing and out of bounds as Toronto gains possession.
Well, that's an example of 2 teammates on a different page. They're both looking at each other like, hey, what was going on there?
Serge Ibaka has checked in for Lucas Nogueira. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Detroit. Here's Toronto now. They've got an 8-0 run. Now here's Lowry. Pass to Anunoby. The dish now to Lowry. And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. 6 on the shot clock. The 15-footer. Rebound by Smith.
Now, great look on that. Just a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he looked like he forced that a little bit. Just needs to take his time. Got to make these shots right now. Well, he continues to be a dangerous scorer for them, but he can't do it all by himself. Someone else has got to help them climb out of this hole.
Here is Lowry, following the basket by Stanley Johnson. Right side, DeRozan. Back to Ibaka. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Don't you just love the gritty nature of Ibaka's game? This guy easily draws contact thanks to his aggressiveness.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Pistons making a change here. Drummond's checked in. Both shots good from the stripe.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Lowry against Smith. Here's Griffin. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Just a tremendous talent when healthy. That's the key for Griffin, trying to avoid a big injury that takes up a chunk of his season.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Griffin hits them both.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Lowry against Smith. Takes the 13-footer. The offensive rebound. It's good. And the Raptors lead by 16.
Well, not to be denied, right? Jonas Valanciunas takes a hit and still finishes through contact.
Drummond with a screen on Lowry. And it's Drummond with the jam. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 13 rebounds.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up.
Well, I'll tell you, on the low block, Valanciunas has shown that he can be a skilled offensive player, and the defense has got to pay attention to him. What a tremendous job playing through contact.
And the first one at the line is good. Norman Powell's checked in for the Raptors. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Pistons trail by 16. And here's Smith. Feeds to Bullock. The Pistons working the ball around now. Gives 3-pointers off the mark. And it's the Raptors' ball. They're on a 14-6 run. On the wing, DeRozan. And they double up DeRozan. And the Raptors with the ball. Bullock passes to Smith. The feed now to Drummond. Johnson in the corner. Good on the 3-point shot.
His first triple of the second half. That makes 3 for the game.
Raptors leading by 13. Now Lowry. Outside DeRozan. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. DeRozan's got 4 points this quarter.
It feels like every look is a good look for DeMar DeRozan. Hand in his face, guy in his grill, no pressure.
Griffin dishes to Smith. Here's Bullock. DeRozan defending. In the corner, it's Griffin. Another 3 for Detroit.
Now this is more like it. 9 points for him from 3-point range this half. That's 9 more than he had in the first.
Now here's DeRozan. Goes up at the stripe, and there are the Raptors with another bucket.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Lowry against Smith. Kicks to Johnson. Drummond a screen. He feeds it to Griffin. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. That's 28 points for DeMar DeRozan. Pistons trail by 16. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Now here's DeRozan, guarded closer. Off target at the rim. Griffin passes to Smith. Drummond with a screen on Ibaka. Back to Griffin. There's the pass to Bullock. 6 to shoot. Here's Drummond, and he banks in the layup. Drummond's got 12 points here in the second half.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Now, here's DeRozan. And the dunk by DeRozan.
As athletic a move as you're going to see right there. Unreal.
How about the hang time on that thing? Wow. On the wing, Johnson, guarded by Powell. Drummond sets the screen for Johnson. Down low, and stolen by Kyle Lowry. Powell, that's good. And the Raptors lead by 18.
Well, it's his intelligence that puts Kyle Lowry up there with the top assist men in the NBA.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And Kyle Lowry, one of those players you love to play with and hate to play against.
All right, because he's been described as a pit bull when he takes the court. You talk about a guy who's got a chip on his shoulder. Seems to me, Kyle, every time he steps between the lines, he's trying to make a believer out of you.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMar DeRozan.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Drummond with a screen on Ibaka. Griffin kicks to Bullock. Pass to Smith. Six on the shot clock. In the corner, it's Griffin. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
After an ice-cold start to this game, he is pouring it on here in the second half.
Here's Lowry. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. Goes up the baseline. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. That's now 32 points for DeMar DeRozan.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
I'll tell you, got to admire the energy. This guy really wants to put this one away.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Now, here's Valanciunas over Drummond. Again, Toronto.
It feels like that one could be the dagger. Not enough time to completely erase this deficit.
Well, Greg, it's going to be tough, that's for sure. A shot like that has to devastate the other team.
Here's Johnson after the made shot from Jonas Valanciunas. And the basket by Johnson.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
You simply can't give him that. You have to fight through the screen and at least get a hand in the face of the shooter.
And so here's Toronto.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Toronto.
And one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
I think it sparked their offense. It deflates the opposition. And when you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's pretty hard to overcome that defensive pressure down the stretch.
And so they'll be advancing their win total to 42 games. And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for DeMar DeRozan.
Boy, what a security blanket this guy has been on the offensive end. He made sure they didn't suffer any cold spells, and anytime the offense started to get stagnant, they could get him the basketball, and he'd get them in the right position.
Anunoby, he's checked in for Toronto. And a different look here for the Pistons. Moreland's checked in. James Ennis comes in for Stanley Johnson. Kennard, he's checked in for Reggie Bullock. And it's Dwight Bikes in for Ish Smith. A free throw dropped for DeRozan. Doris, the revenue-generating streams for players these days, more endorsements, acting opportunities, event appearances, you name it. What impact do you think that has had on the evolution of guys wanting to play in big markets, big cities?
You know, I think the world is smaller, and so it's not necessarily a requirement to be in a large market in order to have some marketing success. You know, you look at any number of stars, even Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City, he's pitching any number of major company because of the level of talent. So I think it's been a good thing. I think it really comes down to where are these players comfortable. It's much more about organization and opportunity to win than it is city.
So it's Detroit now. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go. Shot's good by Kennard.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
Outside Lowry. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Serge, big win tonight. Now, people may think you have some easy games on the schedule, but you did not play easy tonight.
Because we know where we want to go, you know. That's why we was focused tonight. We got to finish strong.
And it was a strong performance, Serge. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.